Welcome to Guzzlr.
So basically, when I was in Shanghai last year, I was walking along, and there was this family. This bloke, he was taking a photograph of the family. So I went up to him and I was like, "Do you want me to take a photograph of your family?" I was about to do the accent. and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Do you want me to take a photograph of your family, just so you could be in the photograph?" And the family just asked a random passerby if he could take their photo, and I just asked him if he wants to get in the photo.
Oh,
Because I really didn't see many Westerners in the whole time I was in China.
yeah.
So it might have just been racist. But I just asked another Chinese man if he wants to get in their photo, and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "So all your family can be in it." He was just a random man who was taking a photo.
To be fair, that could easily happen.
But it hasn't, has it ever before?
I don't know.
When have you ever heard that?
It's never happened to me personally.
I nearly got kidnapped in Borneo by the photographers.
Yeah,
Do you
true.
remember
Yeah.
That's
Just the
weird.
blue hair, blue eyes, blonde hair.
Yeah.
No wonder if you had bloody blue hair. Natural blue hair.
Yeah.
Guzzlr podcast.
Right. Happy Wednesdays. Happy Mondays, they're called Happy Wednesdays band. Hello.
Someone's
This
too
week,
much to drink.
How old are you?
we are talking about the paranormal, sort of within
Yes.
reason. Depends how much I've got over my card.
More than me.
Yeah. So welcome to Guzzlr on this Wednesday afternoon. This week we are drinking. What is it we are drinking?
We are drinking Ridgeline Pale Ale. It's by 4 Pure Brewing Company from Flavorly. There's a camera here, probably.
It's from Flavour, yes. So it's something that we brought. You got 20 years.
Yes. 20 for $29.95.
20,
Sponsor us.
they do a lot of deals and stuff. So we got one of them. It's one of them. Not very popular. It's not.
This
not
isn't
very
the
well
tangerine
known.
one. This is just the pale.
This
ale.
is just a pale ale. Yeah.
Right. I
This
have
is,
no idea what this tastes like. I can't remember.
I've just tried it.
Yes.
I'll let you know at the end.
Alright.
But it's still full.
Cool.
I'll
What
just
are
let you
you
know. Yeah. What are you
What
drinking?
are you drinking, Declan?
I'm drinking Shiraz. I'll show to that camera instead. By Yellowtail. It's the one everyone will see in Tesco. It's the Australian red.
There we go.
Very nice. Right, we'll tell you what we think at the end.
Then.
Paranormal.
So, I think I'm just gonna.
I will say that all I've written on my card for everyone at home is
You've written
ghosts, ghouls, and girls.
Dick, have you written anything on your card ever? They always sit in front of you, and I was wondering if you ever have.
Nah, big brain. Remember everything.
Big
yeah.
brain. That's it. Yeah.
I like how we've been spewing numbers, facts. I haven't written anything down. I don't know if any of it's true.
I've written so much down.
Fine.
I've written so much down. I've got quite a good memory, but I've written stuff down. Anyway, right. So,
Yes.
I'm going to start with a question that I think it comes up quite a lot. It's one that always gets passed around. Right? And that's what I know what you think to it. Right?
I don't know what this question could be now that wouldn't be a weird
Yeah.
start. Right? That would be a weird build up.
Open.
People ask this all the time. Yeah,
I-
go on.
I thought you wanted me to say like, are ghosts real? But it wasn't the question I was going to ask.
Yeah, no,
It
what
was,
question?
That'd have been.
Can vampires get AIDS?
Oh,
Okay,
here
so
we
that's
go.
why you're doing that build up.
Yeah. Gets passed around all the time, doesn't it? Always in the pubs, like, can vampires get AIDS? Can they?
No.
I'll preface this by saying I haven't read any of the literature on the topic.
Well, assuming
Okay.
I'm going to get scientific, they don't have any white blood cells,
Okay.
so they can't be deficient in white blood cells.
Also, would it matter?
No,
Because
exactly.
they are the undead.
Yeah, they wouldn't possibly
They
die.
can't
They
die.
wouldn't- can vampires even get ill? I don't think they can they?
No.
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 Oh, outside of their their
Well,
things.
Yeah.
In Vampire Diaries again.
But
they can
I would argue Vampire Diaries is probably the worst
Yeah, it's
source
awful.
of information on vampires outside of Twilight.
I mean, let's be
Yeah.
honest. In terms of information, none of it's right.
No, but our whole
It's not
folklore of
objective.
vampires.
Yeah. They don't have white blood cells, so they can't have an autoimmunity deficiency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
I agree with Declan.
Alright. So, one that never gets asked, are ghosts real?
I think they're real if you think they're real.
In the same way that if I have children, what they will think that Santa Claus is
No.
real.
I think the Earth's flat.
I like
Because I think it's real.
no.
Fine.
Like if these ghost hunters go on these shows,
I know what you mean though. I actually do agree with you.
and if
Carry
you
on.
believe you're going to see something,
I get what you mean now.
you're going to see
You're
something.
gonna see something, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the power of the mind will make you believe.
I personally don't believe in ghosts, and I've never seen any.
But then
What
the
you
thing
say
is
is-
though, even if you don't believe in ghosts,
Hmm.
you probably still would experience some sort of stuff because of just the societal,
Like, I don't
things
believe
that
in
built up
ghosts,
around that.
but I wouldn't do a Ouija board. Put it that way.
Also, you always got to
okay,
remember
fine.
that there's going to be some sort of whenever we're in the dark or we're in a scare, there's always inherent fear based off of just
Yeah, that's
biological.
That's evolutionary.
Like,
Isn't it?
when
Exactly.
you go on like horror walks and it's live actors,
Someone has broken in there.
honestly, you think you're going to die.
and you get scared. But that's
Yeah,
because
because I don't believe in ghosts at all.
no,
But that's not me saying I wouldn't get scared if I spent a night in a haunted house.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's like I said. I don't believe in ghosts, but I wouldn't do a Ouija
But
board.
so, okay, so if you don't believe in ghosts, why wouldn't you do a Ouija board?
So I have done a Ouija board.
Right.
Nothing happened.
Yeah, but I also wouldn't want to risk it.
No, I wouldn't. But I also believe. Sorry, I also believe that
We should do
There
one
is-
for extra.
there is. I also believe that there's something. I'm not saying a ghost.
If you want to see a Ouija board, persuade these because I'm up for it.
Share. I don't mean shares on the Ouija
Yeah.
board. Yeah, she's on the Ouija board. I mean, no. Yeah. So why wouldn't you do a Ouija board?
Just in case.
Ghosts.
Exactly. So there must be a bit of you that thinks
No.
maybe.
There isn't a maybe. However, I don't want to start one and the devil appear. Do you know what I mean?
But I also think that because you don't want to do it, there's a bit of you that thinks that it must be fine. It must be real.
Yeah, but you could say that like, if I jumped off a cliff with a parachute, I might not die, but I also might die because I'm jumping off a
No,
cliff.
like my dad's not religious at all, but when he thought he was dying, he was praying. Like, what if you? There must be a bit of you then which does believe.
Maybe it's subconscious. I don't know.
So I don't believe particularly in ghosts, right? Because it would be overrun by them. Like they'd be everywhere. Like I don't know what, but I also believe that there's something. I believe in spirits. I believe that there is something.
I don't get the rules when it comes to ghosts. Like, why are they still here?
Why do you think there's something? Is the question.
I'm not going to go deep into this simply because it's not my story to tell. But you know the stories that I've told about where like mediums and things like that.
Yeah.
And I just think that I don't know how you can know those things and like I know that there's some things like there's a famous sketch, one of Peter Kay's sketches in Phoenix Nights where like this medium comes out and he's like, is there a John in the audience? And like 6 men are like, yep, just like, and then he goes to somebody like, you've been ill recently, haven't you? He's like, oh, I'm not sure. Like, you haven't. I'm sensitive. Well, I had a cold the other week. Oh, yeah, I could feel that. Like, if you do that to anyone, eventually they'll be like, oh yeah, that's true. Like, I'm sensing a pet, something you was close to. I never had a pet. You was close to one. I was like, oh, my friend had a dog. Yes, I'm sensing it. Like, there's always something. But like the things that like someone I know that was told, it was just like things that like. How would you know that? And then when they were told, you've got a spirit of someone with you, my spirit's talking to your spirit, that's how I know these things. I just think those things like...
I'm not... to be genuinely, another good extra episode could be if we actually did something like that.
Yeah.
Got a median in.
Us three went to see
Yeah.
a medium. I think that could
Really?
be quite interesting.
Yeah.
Because I do not believe at all.
Right.
I
Right.
fundamentally do not believe.
Yeah.
I think
No,
it's
but the thing that scares me about
completely
mediums...
untrue.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Founded in nothing.
The thing that scares me about mediums, well, say you don't believe, right? And the medium's just said all the things that has happened in your life and things that will happen in your life. When you left that medium, your life would be changed.
No, it wouldn't, because
because
I'd go, Louis, what did you tell him?
It's
I've
worth
ju-
pointing
I've
out that
just
studies
suspected.
have been done on this stuff as well, though,
Mm.
and it has been shown to be wrong.
Yeah.
It's the same with the power of prayer. They've done tests into the power of prayer before, and
not.
it does nothing.
Yeah.
Mm.
You could argue that it did nothing because it was for the sake of
Yeah.
an
I
experiment.
pray, and I believe that 90% of my prayers are answered.
But then is that because you've actualised something
exactly,
you wanted
maybe
to
so,
happen?
maybe so.
Like the idea of you making a goal or something like that, you've actualised it by making a prayer, and you've made it something that you want to happen, so it has happened.
It may well be a thing. Like, it's such a story which I not say on here, but like, there is the idea that like, my mum went to see a medium, and he was like, your mum's gonna become ill, you're gonna have to get some iris flowers, and then like 10 years later, well, not that long later, I don't know how long later, she had an operation on her eye, the iris is in the eye, and it was like quite details that like why didn't it go like sunflower, do you know what I mean, or like lilies,
But
lilies
like, Old people get ill.
yeah.
At some point, that person's going to be ill in
I
some
know
way.
I know that you could fabricate that, but it was like
Sight
iris,
is a very, very
eyes.
typical,
But
very typical thing to go in old people.
Yeah. But so like
In
you
some
say
capacity.
lilies and things like that when it comes to like ill, it's always lilies, or you get something from grapes. Let's be honest. Yeah, people always have grapes in hospital. What Irish was a very particular thing. There's things like my mum was told about her life in her past and stuff like that, like which was I don't want to say it on podcast because you know my life.
Yeah, but I imagine there was a significant portion of stuff said in that wasn't strictly
maybe so
relevant.
Yeah.
It's a balance of probability in my mind of them saying stuff that's incredibly likely to happen, hoping that the stuff that doesn't happen is kind of sort of irrelevant, or there's another way. They're hoping that there's going to be some sort of justification.
No, so,
just like astrology.
Yeah. It would be interesting to get one in, like you said. But nonetheless, if those things happened, right, or like that you told you about your life, which like you was like, how on earth do you know that? Like that's weird. You would leave that medium being like, oh, that was really crazily weird. Like how does he know that? That's weird. If it was so, it wasn't just like you've been in the past. Like if it was like something so.
Exactly,
right.
Because I'm interested in the scientific method, and that's how I build my principles.
Yeah.
And you're similar and stuff.
Yeah.
If I went to a medium and I genuinely saw evidence that I personally believe within my philosophy indicates that it has to be something else, then I would have to look into that.
Yeah.
And I would be interested.
But you would leave there going like, that is weird.
Oh yeah, of course,
that's
100%,
weird.
110%, because we're just scared of stuff like that.
That's the weird thing that with medium. Like if I went and you told me all this stuff, and I'd just leave there being like.
But the difference is a lot of people would come out of there and they would bend their stuff that's happened to them or stuff that's happened in the future around what happened.
Yes.
Whereas I wouldn't.
No.
It would because I'm sceptical from the offset.
Yeah, it'd be black and white, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you do?
So I've had 2 of my family members go to mediums.
Yep.
And one was their brother lived elsewhere in the world, and she had believed that her brother had died.
Right.
She hadn't heard from him for ages. So she went to a medium and asked. Apparently he did pass away, and then she found out later that he had actually passed away.
Right.
But again, to me that's quite probable because
if
they
someone's
spoke a
gone
lot.
to you with the belief that
Yeah.
yeah.
But the weirdest one that I found was my little brother's stories of when they were younger, where they would shout out if someone was in the room at night.
So I usually said to my mum or something.
However, they've heard about ghosts in the past, or they'd been taught about ghosts, and I reckon it's something like, so when on the back of my door, the other side of the room, hangs my dressing gown. Now, in the dark, if I looked at that for a split second, it looks human.
100%.
Yeah. So it could just be the case that he's turned, and in the brain of a child, it's. Do you know?
So I always used to say that there was someone in the corner of the room dressed in funny clothes, and my mum was told that she had a spirit of a child with her, like an old child. Not old as in like 15. I mean, like old as in like from years ago.
An adult.
Yeah. Old child is in a 60-year-old. And it was all those things, and just weird things have always happened. I'm not saying, firstly, that I believe in ghosts. I don't particularly believe in ghosts. I don't believe in like white sheet ghost.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. But like weird things have always sort of conspired during my life. Like my dad built a house. Typically, new houses don't have ghosts because it's always an old house where someone has like passed away in them.
It's on land.
It could be on land. So when 3-story, top of this story. There's the pictures ran down down the thing, and one by one, we went on that. When he was looking up at him, that's a weird thing. That's a weird thing. Like someone was just like that.
Like a breeze.
No, because if it was a breeze, they'd all just fall off, wouldn't they? Yeah. But it was like that, which is like that's weird. I'm not saying someone was like meow and just like ran down the thing.
I can't wait for this to be in the video. Someone have headphones in and listen to that.
But I'm just saying it's a weird thing. I'm not putting any reasoning to that. At all. I have no point. Actually, I'm interested in your point. Yours just said ghosts, ghouls and girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1975.
I'd like to say about any of that.
Not girls.
No.
Okay.
It just sounded nice after ghosts and ghouls.
Girls. Okay, fine. If you could go back to any point, it's sort of paranormal, sort of a bit different. If you could go back to any point in your life at all, where would you go?
The beginning. Do it all again.
So the question is what do I remember?
Yeah, do I remember what I know now?
Because if I could have feasibly gone back to a point in my life already, So I just live it again, wouldn't I? It's like, what do
I
I
mean, like-
remember?
Oh no, so you're
Am I
going.
me?
You're going back, pretty like Scrooge did. He's going back as a ghost.
So I'm not going
He's
back in my
watching
body.
it. No.
I'm going
Right.
back as like an ethereal spirit and
Yes.
I'm like present.
Yes.
No, I wouldn't do it.
Maybe.
What's the point?
No, but I'm saying you got it. For this story. You've
Just
got
to like, just to, as an observer.
maybe yeah.
Yeah, but you
I've
can't
made
do-
it like I along.
The thing is, if you're an observer, you can't do anything anyway. And if you don't have a choice, you've done it, innit?
But maybe you want to relive it, like maybe like I just want to go back to Reading last year just to watch Alfie fall through a chair or something like that again.
Brilliant. I'll
Like-
do that again.
Or like
But
just
I'll
to go to
remember it,
Borneo and like just to see those things again. Or
How long
like
can I go back for?
oh, as long as you want. Like the consistency of the of like you go. I want to. As long as you want, mate.
I mean, in that case, I'd like to go back to the start and just watch my life.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good. That is a pretty good answer though.
However,
Good.
20 years is a long old time, isn't it?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, does
You
it?
can fast forward a few years.
Can you?
He makes a rule.
That's
Can
why
you
I'm asking
fast
him.
forward a few years? No.
So when you go back, you have to live
Oh,
it to the present
No,
day.
You can just
You can
quit.
stop
you
at
can
somewhere,
quit.
but
You
you
can
can't.
quit.
Right.
You can't skip or anything.
And you only
So
get
if
you only
the-
have one chance.
Oh.
You can't be like I'll skip and then I'll go back here and I'll go back to now when I was 8 years old and then like.
I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't choose to go back.
Okay, so let's change the scenario. And what if it was you're going back in that body and you're going to remember when you come back? Would you go back to birth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you?
But then the problem is because you okay.
To right
Because I know what's going
to
happen.
live the rest of everything.
Hey?
You go back to birth to live your whole life. Again.
Yeah, and remember what I already know.
In my head, for some reason, you were just nipping back for birth, and then you were just coming back.
I just want to
You
feel the
just-
warmth again.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that's why I was like,
Okay, right.
that's the weirdest answer I've ever heard. I just want to come out of mum again, and then.
Oh.
So if you
Right.
go back to any point, time travel, you go back to any point in history.
Right.
Where would you go? Any point in history, you're a fly on the wall. You're not going to get executed or anything like
Back in 1997. Just a
Fall
build
of the
up.
Berlin Wall. No, I wouldn't go
No.
back to it.
What about you?
that. So I quite like to go back to like.
Have you got something?
Yeah,
Right, go on
Oh,
then.
no, go on, fine.
Egyptians. Just to
So
see how they built the
got
pyramids.
two answers. So that's honestly, it's one of my answers.
Aliens. Come back for Space Part 2.
That was one of my answers. Was genuinely the Egyptians.
Yeah.
The whole idea of ancient Egypt, I think, is wonderful. But also to see the pyramids, like
Yeah.
how they, my other one was like sort of like 16th century Tudors, around that sort of time.
Yeah, but you couldn't do anything during then, could you?
No, but just to see how different it is, like to walk through the
Very.
streets, see how different the world is. I know the answer, but I just like to be there.
Yeah, I'd quite like to go back to like Peterborough, near where we live. What? No one's gonna hunt us down based off of that.
I was more the fact he's like, I like to go to Peterborough.
No. As in, we live near a city
Right.
which is very, very historical.
So
It's
you
been
like
there for a long, long
yes.
time.
Right.
You know, it's that city
Like-
then.
We like
when it was built.
because it's a shithole now.
Right.
We always see it as never being, but like it was a very, very historic place
Mm.
in England. It was like one of the pillars of
Yeah.
Captain Arrogance Bay there, which is
it was one of the main
yeah.
places. A lot of the history we have was written in Peterborough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd quite like to go back there and see what that
That
was
went downhill,
like.
didn't it?
Oh, it's gone
Yeah,
very
yeah,
down. It's a horrible
yeah.
place now. Don't go there.
No,
But
no, it was the worst place to live in England. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'd like, because that's very applicable to me now.
Yeah. Okay.
It'd be nice to see
Um,
how things have developed and stuff. Even where we specifically live, I'm not going to say it, is quite.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
going to go more specific actually to where we live.
My
actually.
house.
But like, down my house, which is number so Wiz Beach, which is another town rather near us. They in their Wiz Beach Museum. If you know Wiz Beach, it's quite a small town, very small
In
town.
England?
Yeah, in England.
Have we
Cambridgeshire.
clarified we're in England?
It's a very small town, but in their museum they have the original Great Expectations. That's quite cool for Wiz Beach, which is very good. Who stole it from somewhere, obviously. I don't know how else they got it. Yeah. So you would go to Peterborough when?
Good question, sir. Maybe like 11th, 12th century.
Okay. All right.
I think that's when. This could be completely incorrect. I'm not a historian, but there's a thing called the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, which is like where we get the majority of our history from.
Yeah.
I'd like to go back to whenever that was predominantly written.
Well, we
I'm not
were-
sure,
we were
entirely
very much-
sure what that was.
We were stronger then because like Whittlesea. I'm getting very near to home here. Whittlesea.
The name
was-
of my street is something very historical.
is-
We ain't going
yeah,
there.
that's true. Whittlesea was they found like Viking longboats there, and like Flag Fen, which is in Whittlesea, is like a protected site for like the Bronze Age in Ireland.
So East Anglia, where we live, was one of the.
That's what I'm looking for. East Anglia is very
That was one of the like I think it's 4 kingdoms of England.
Yes.
Yeah.
East Anglia was one of the main.
North
areas.
Anglia, West Anglia, South Anglia.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, paranormal. What you got?
I have one more point that I've written twice, so I'd hopefully like one of you two to say something. How long? 20 minutes. Cheese. Does cheese give you nightmares?
You said say something. Oh, nice. No, right. Next, what else we got? I think. I don't know.
No, that was it.
I think it can make your sort of dreams and stuff more vivid.
No.
Maybe.
No bollocks.
I don't know. This is based off of nothing.
No, no food makes you dream more than another food.
No. Fair.
Well, if I don't eat any food, does food make me dream more than no food?
No.
Where does
What makes you dream more?
Ain't got a clue. No one knows. No one knows why we dream. It just happens.
No, we sleep. To be fair, where did the idea come from? Where did the idea come from that the moon was made of cheese? Was that the idea come? Did that come from Wallace and
I
Gromit?
assume the
Or
whole.
was that based off of
Swiss cheese, isn't it?
something else?
Maybe. I don't know any scientific answer.
Where is
Right. My other one that I wrote down twice, so it's big, is magic real?
Easy. You say it or say it together.
What's that?
No!
2, 1.
No! Is magic real? What's your I don't mean like a card trick. If people learn card tricks, I don't mean that.
Right.
That's what I know.
What do you mean?
No.
So like,
What's the definition of magic?
something that is completely like. I don't mean like.
You know.
I say like unexplainable because like a card trick's unexplainable till you know the answer. I mean something that you really can't explain.
But who can't explain?
Anyone.
Yeah, but like what?
Okay.
Miracles.
So you got
And can't explain now or could never explain?
can't explain now.
Yeah, but you could say that about.
Because there's a lot of
No, but
There's a-
the idea like in the 16th century they had magic, and people believed that was magic, and they were satisfied that was magic because no one could explain it then. Now we're like, well, there's a reason to that. But then they loved the fact that was magic.
But like, there's a huge amount of science we don't know the answer to yet.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But to us
But
now,
we still
I
classify
would
that as
clarify-
science
Yeah, but I'll clarify. Okay. So like for example,
instead of magic.
I'm gonna say a name that some people would just completely just like, oh, that's just a load of crap. But
Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's yeah.
My friend Harry.
No, it's like dynamite, for example. Let me just say it
I love
first.
dynamite.
Yeah, I
I
know,
love
but I know some people don't. For example,
Do you like dynamite?
He's entertaining the children, isn't he?
I like dynamite.
so like, there's a lot of things which isn't explainable, right? And my idea is, why should anyone bother explaining it? Why can't we all just sit here and go, that was?
Like what?
Because we've discussed
So,
this before. We need to know why.
There was one where like he, like just rose up in front of like Christ Redeemer and just floated there and then carried down. And people were like, oh, it must have been like helicopters just like hanging him up. And I'm like, well, no, because there was people there. None of them were going, oh, helicopter there. Also, why have we got to go? There was helicopter. Why can't we just go? That was really good.
But he knows why.
He knows why, but I would say that then he is magic.
Then-
Let's get Dynamo on the show, guys.
I'm
Let's get us trending.
I'm also not saying that he is magic. I'm not saying he's like an alien being, which is like magic.
I love
There's a
dynamite.
reason.
I really like magic,
Yeah.
as in magic.
Yeah,
I really enjoy magic.
there is a reason what he has done. Fine. There is to him.
What's up with you?
Nothing.
You don't like magic?
No.
To him, he knows why. Obviously, there's a reason why he.
Yes.
Why? But we can't.
It's raining.
It is raining.
We can't explain
We're in
that.
England. It's always
Yeah.
going to rain. I think I always like people asking why.
Okay, but would you?
Curiosity is the foundation of science.
Yes.
It's the foundation of knowledge.
But would you rather
I don't
not
think
know?
people asking why is a bad thing. If you're a magician, it's your job to make sure that people can't answer that question.
Yes.
That's the entire principle of your job.
Yes.
If people can find why easily, you're not a good magician.
No. Yeah.
But I think Dynamo is a fantastic magician. Dex.
No,
just
I
sat there
get.
sniffing
No,
it.
I
As
get-
far as magicians go, he's
Yeah.
a good magician.
And that's what I'm saying. Like magic shouldn't be like.
I think speculation though adds to the magic of magic.
Maybe,
I think
yeah.
magic without speculation is just nothing.
Nothing. But also, like, I don't think like magic is like smoke. Like I don't think that like, Dynamo's magic. We can't explain that, and I like the idea that like he knows how, but it leaves us guessing. To me, that's magic because that is magic.
Right.
So like once when he like walked across the Thames, people like he was walking on boards. Firstly, he wasn't because boats circled him. Right, that if they went over his board that he was standing on, it would sink.
But you could have a board that easily floats significantly to take his weight,
But
but a boat
sinks
going
if it hits
over
the
it would
boat.
just go over it.
Then he
It's
would
not
then
gonna damage a
he would
boat.
then sink down because the boat would. If the boat went over it, it would go down a
No,
little
but he could have different boards.
So he's
A
walking
segmentation of boards. So he's walking from board to board. Again, this is based off of nothing. I don't actually think he did it like
Okay.
that, but I'm saying it's not silly. I guess it's possible, maybe.
Now people like helicopters and stuff like that. I'm like, all these people are just like watching him. No
Yeah,
one's going.
personally, I just watch it.
No, exactly. That's
Even
what I mean.
though I'm scientific in nature and I probably could have a good stab at
Yeah.
what he's doing, I don't care.
And there's one where like
But I don't think there's a problem with people caring.
Okay. There's one where like he's on a building and like fell and he was just there and then he walked down the building and at the end he just walked off. People were like, well, he was on harnesses. No one came to him and unclipped him. Like there was no harness. Like, he just walked. Like the fact that I can't explain that to me is magic. I'm not saying I'm not saying he's Superman, but I'm saying that's magic.
But then it's like David Blaine.
I don't know if David Blaine's a magician or just a mentalist. Like the things he does, like some of his magic. I remember very clearly once when he sat in like a fishbowl for like 7 days. I think that's magic or just patience.
Who's the bloke who does the hypnotism?
Darren Brown.
That's him. What do you reckon to him?
I love Darren Brown. I love Darren Brown a lot. I'm a big fan of Darren Brown. I'm not saying it's real or not. But to be fair, his job is to be he's an entertainer, and he entertains me. So
I'm a
like,
big fan of Darren Brown.
I'm a big fan of
Do you
Darren
not
Brown.
like him?
No. So just
Do you have any
out
first-
of context.
To be fair, he doesn't. I don't think he calls himself a magician. He calls himself an illusionist.
Yeah.
And the idea of illusionist is there's actually a reason behind it.
Yeah.
But because you don't know that reason, that's the illusion.
So just for context, I am a hypnotherapist, so I can hypnotise people, and it isn't all as cracked up to be. You can't just. It's not like the film Now You See Me, where he just slaps him on the back of the head and he's gone.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. You have to spend a significant amount of time with someone before you can hypnotise them.
But like stuff that Darren
You
does
can only
is like,
hypnotise people susceptible as well, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Like, could you hypnotise me?
Not unless you were physically trying to be hypnotised.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
So while you're sitting there now and we're talking, probably not. Unless there was a metronome and I kept telling you to focus on the metronome, stuff like that. So you have to physically focus on something.
There's one that Darren done where like he had like a board and he put his hands through it. And someone put their hand over his hand and he would guess what it was. So it was 10 people. So the first one he was like left, I think just a guess. The second person he was like you want to try and break the pattern, so you're going to do left again. Third person, again, you want to don't break the pattern, so left again. The fourth person is like, you now know what I'm going to say, so you're going to say right. And he would just be like, psychologically, he would be like, and he got one wrong. Right? And he was like, right, so come back at the end, and he was doing it, he was like, left. And he felt his hand and was like, your rough hands, you're a builder, and he was like, you're probably about like, because how rough your hands are, you're probably like about 50. And like, he could work those things out based on those things. But that's just because he knows what he's looking for. Like,
yeah, but
he's not
that's
doing
it.
that being like Alakazam. Like,
Because mentalism is just deductive reasoning with a fancy name.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it's not illusion. It's
But
just
David Blaine,
scientific evidence.
I don't think he's a magician. I think he baffles people and people enjoy it. But I think because, well, like, there was one where he
I
sat
quite
on top of a
enjoyed
pillow.
David Blaine.
Like, I enjoy it. He's entertaining. But I wouldn't call
I
him
enjoy
a
David
magician.
Blaine more than I do Dynamo.
Okay. Right.
Just because, like, Dynamo, I know it's an illusion, but David Blaine, when you don't eat or drink for like 7 days, that is harder than what Dynamo does to me.
Now, let me argue that.
Right.
So, if you said to me, you've got to stand off a building and you've got to fall, then walk down it, that I wouldn't give that a go. Full stop.
Yeah, but he has something there though.
Yeah. So he knows he's not going to fall.
I don't know how he did it, but there's something there that you could probably do it. He's not trained in any of that. It's not. There's nothing unique to what he's doing.
No, but obviously David Blaine has trained himself to not eat or drink for 7 days.
Yeah, and there's a monk that hasn't eaten or drank for 80 years.
What I'm saying, the talent of Dynamo is to distract you from whatever method he's using to be able to do that. If you had the tools to implement that, you could do that.
But also
If
by the tools
you know
David
what
Blaine.
David Blaine's doing,
Yeah.
but do you? Can you?
If I had the tools,
I'm saying Dynamo could probably just say to you, "This is how I did it," and you could do it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if
David Blaine would have to train you.
Okay, so what would you rather do? If Dynamo was like, I'm going to tell you how to walk down a building, and you're going to do it, or David Blaine goes, just try not to eat a lot for like 3 months, and you'll be able to go 5 7 days. Which would you rather do? I'd rather walk down a building.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that's why it's more impressive what David Blaine's doing. If I said to you, you can CGI, right?
Okay.
I'm going to suspend you in front of a green screen and you're going to jump from a thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you can do what Tom Cruise did and you can actually genuinely train
Yeah.
to learn how to, I can't remember what it's called, that specific type of thing he did, which is like ridiculously hard. What would you rather do? What's easier actually is the question, not what would you rather do. What's easier?
Well, the CGI is the easy one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's just the mastery of illusion. Don't get me wrong, I still really like it. I still find it impressive. And the fact, like, even with CGI, it's impressive that someone could CGI it to look similar to that scenario. But it's a different type of impressive.
Yeah, fair enough.
And it's the one that specifically appeals to Declan, because you enjoy that more.
Yeah.
Whereas I actually do enjoy the illusion more, personally.
Right. So, have you got anything else in the paranormal to say?
I said it a bit earlier. On the topic of ghosts, what are the rules?
Okay. To be fair, I meant to say this earlier, but I didn't. So, like, I'm not telling you the rules, but I don't know the rules. But the idea is that, like, I don't know why graveyards are haunted when graveyards are such a peaceful place, because that's where people are laid to rest. Why are graveyards assumed to be there's ghosts in graveyards? Also, the idea of a graveyard is scary. If you say a cemetery, it's also not. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's also both pretty creepy.
If you say a cemetery, I'd assume like a bit more nicer. A graveyard just seems a bit more like. Maybe it's the way that I'm saying cemetery and graveyard. You know what I mean? Also, like, surely they would choose their favourite place to haunt. So why is it like an old decrepit house?
Yeah, but why haunt in the first place? What's the point?
I think the idea of that is I don't know if.
So you die.
They haven't gone between the two worlds.
Yeah, but why? And what is there a second one?
I haven't died yet. I don't know.
How does the idea of a spirit
This is my next question. I was supposed to actually last week
being like aggressive and angry and sticking around, how does that morph into any sort of religion?
I don't.
Because it has to be part of an afterlife.
I said this to Tasha today about the cross, and
Right.
I said, why is the cross assumed with like protecting you from the devil? Right? When she's like, well, it's a religious symbol. I said, but only because we made that a religious symbol. That by itself has nothing.
Yeah, we made up all religion.
And in all fairness,
And what?
We made up all of religion.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, if you're sticking with the idea of like spirituality, the cross is the same as this. Only because we called the cross a religious item. Admittedly, I'm not a spirit.
To be fair, I don't think Jesus was crucified on a San Miguel.
No, but I'm saying like an evil
I'm not
spirit. When you go give it the cross, why does it go and then it's like burns away?
I don't
when
know.
if I put a glass in its face, that's just a glass. But the idea of a cross is only like
It's also like symbolism, isn't it? But I know what
it's
you mean.
the anti of what they are, isn't it?
Yeah, but as a spirit, if you saw a cross, would you be like ah?
No, because I don't think I'll come back as a spirit.
I don't think
I don't think that's what my question was. I think fair, Declan.
It's because everything's so much of it's based around the principles of good and bad. So it's like Declan said, it's the opposite.
Yes.
It's a symbol of all things good and holy, and they're the symbol of all things
Which never
bad.
made sense to me because he died on it.
So right,
In my
idea
head, it's
of-
because it's a narrative, but that's not going to play into.
No,
That's
exactly.
not going to make any sense to you.
No.
So
But-
to me, it's a narrative. It's a symbol of good. They're bad, so
Maybe
that
so.
repels that. But if you're actually spiritual, that's not going to make sense to you.
No, true. My other idea was that is our soul attached to our body, right? Has our soul found a body, or has our body found a soul?
This brings into
I
the
was actually this
argument.
last week.
This brings into the argument of like organ donation and stuff like that.
Okay.
Right. So, I personally think that the soul is just a load of crap, if I'm honest. Because
you believe in
souls
souls?
and spirits I believe in consciousness.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
believe in
consciousness is a
souls.
soul.
If in that case, then no, it's just attached to your brain.
Because when you like, if you just don't talk and you like, but you talk to yourself, or you think, that presence is in your head, right? Like even if you had to put a geographical location on where you're thinking, it's here. It's not like
because that's
your
where
knee.
your neurons.
Yeah.
Your neurons are.
Yeah, it's not your knee.
I feel like consciousness is meant to be unexplainable. Like the whole point of it, you're trying to put something non-biological in something biological, like memories.
But when we can fully map the brain,
Yeah.
psychology's not a thing anymore.
No. Well,
Because there has to be something physical in your brain that corresponds to certain things.
yeah.
There just is. Don't get me wrong, this is incredibly, incredibly complicated science, and it will
Yes.
be many, many years in the future.
It won't be our lifetime.
But your consciousness is a physical thing. We've fabricated the soul because we don't understand how a brain can correspond to individual personalities, individual memories, individual thoughts, individual opinions, because it's incredibly complicated. But there is something physical. There just is.
So what happens to your soul when you die?
It dies with you.
Your neurons stop firing. So you no longer function as a biological being.
So when you're born,
so that doesn't exist anymore. When a computer stops working,
that's the soul as well.
We are computers.
Yeah.
Humans are biological computers. That's a fact. When your computer breaks, you don't need to think, where's Windows gone? How is that?
No,
gone
you
into
can
the
also
ether, or how is that?
Take the soul of a computer and put it in another one.
Where does excess? Yeah, 100%.
So
if the brain is if a brain is a physical thing, you could 100% replicate someone else's brain, which is what memory is.
Can they do brain transplants? Yeah.
Yes,
so they can do that.
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
So if you put your brain in Alfie, are you then in Alfie?
I don't think it quite works like that yet, but yeah, I know what you mean.
I was wondering if you were Alfie, if Alfie was still Alfie.
In theory, they could transfer cells from my brain to.
I mean, like your whole brain.
No. See, this is a philosophical question.
No, if Alfie's brain stopped working, but my brain was working, but my body wasn't, and they wanted to put me in a body that did, that couldn't work.
Okay, so
or the science that we know yet.
But say it did.
Yeah.
Do you believe that if I took your brain,
and
put it in Alfie's body, would you then be an Alfie, or would Alfie still be Alfie?
No, I'd be me in Alfie.
Yes, 100%.
So you're in Alfie's body?
Yes, because the memories aren't retained in the body, they're retained in the mind.
Just like if I took my hard drive out of this and put it in your laptop, that's my laptop.
It doesn't join to your
laptop. Would you talk like you?
Yeah, probably.
I'd sound like him, but talk like me.
Just like if I took my memory out of this and put it in your laptop, it'd have your speaker quality. If you've got shit speakers on your laptop, it wouldn't play music well because it was like that before.
I'd have all my mannerisms in him.
We are biological. It's just
imagine
how it
that.
works. It's hard to comprehend, but it's just.
But I think
imagine being in your body.
But it is like religion again, because the fact that we can't explain it, we've just put an arbitrary unit of what we understand to it, which of being the soul or consciousness, and we've gone, this is it. What is it? We don't know, but that's what it is.
The unexplained is scary.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe where. So if you believe in souls, where do the excess of souls come from? So like population's increasing. So if you say people that believe in like reincarnation and stuff like that, where do the other souls come from?
This is.
Where do new souls come from?
So I think
where have they been?
I don't believe in reincarnation, but I'm saying that if I was to believe in reincarnation, souls obviously made. Souls actually fabricated from nothing. This is just mine, right? And
so we all started at nothing at some point anyway.
Yeah, and then when you get reincarnated, that soul still comes back, right? But other souls are still getting made. That's my idea. Oh, you mean the ones that just don't get reincarnated?
Yeah. So
no, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. You're saying that. Like,
but if reincarnation exists, there'd be no need for new souls.
I don't get the point when people say that I'd have come back as someone else puts their mind at ease. Because they could have already come back lots of times, they don't know it.
Yeah.
So the idea of going, it puts me at ease. Why? Why does it?
Because it makes no fundamental difference to you.
No, it doesn't make any difference.
If you were something before, you don't know that.
No. So that doesn't make me any happier.
No, because you'll just be another thing that didn't know it was something else.
Exactly, it doesn't make my life any easier.
But I feel if you believe in souls, you have to believe in an afterlife. Because if not, there's no point having a soul because it's going to sit in your body and never go anywhere.
Okay. I think I was nothing before and I'll be nothing after.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad. We'll leave on that.
Which is, but like that is scary.
It's horrible. Yeah.
But like that doesn't make me need to believe.
Enjoy life.
No, but that's also why you should live everything to because you only have one chance.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why you should enjoy it.
100%.
And not get to deathbed at 80 and go, I wish I'd done more.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think on that. I think that's generally quite a good point. Like you should let us know what you think on that.
Again, it's willing to point out that we all have very different opinions on this stuff. Like you are spiritual in some way.
Yeah,
I'm not at all.
Religious. Yeah.
And I don't care what religion anyone is. Although even though I'm very skeptical of religion as a thing, I don't actually care.
Yeah.
But no doubt we will do a podcast on religion. It'll be quite a long one.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know when we will come.
Probably a 6-part.
So I'll finish up there.
Right.
I'll say that. Do get in contact with us. Like I said, keep getting involved with your advice if you need any advice, anything like that. Like I said,
Nathan is coming.
not good advice. Don't actually get involved with advice. It's got to be stuff that like you don't actually want advice from. Like,
I mean,
you know what I
we can give advice.
We'll weigh in as well. To
yeah,
be fair.
like, yeah, fine. This beer here, what is it?
Yes.
Do you want to show the thing to the camera or whatever again?
Ridgeline Pale Ale for all the people that actually.
Yeah,
listen
it's a
on the
pale ale.
podcast.
You can definitely taste it's a pale ale.
By 4 Pure. Sponsors.
It's it's all right.
I'm a big fan. I really like it. I actually really enjoyed that.
I'll be honest with you, I actually drank more than that the first time. Because we had that last week, didn't we? We drank it last week.
I really like it. It went down easy.
It did. But that's because we had half a can.
I want to say stuff like Dex says, you know, where it's like, it was bold.
I think it was. It was really pale ale.
It was crisp and modern, I'd argue.
Okay, right.
I'm just reading the back of the thing, but yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Also, check out our extra channel because there'll be a video on there about Marvel. We've ranked the Marvel films.
The MCU film.
The MCU film.
It's just worth saying, if anyone is, I don't think anyone's listening, but if you are listening and there's
The
something
one of you out there,
and there's something you want us to talk about,
let us know.
just let us know.
Yeah, no, we'll be happy to.
Can I review mine?
Yes,
Of
go on.
course, sorry.
Go on, I'm excited.
So this this Yellowtail Shiraz is everything a great wine should be. Vibrant, smooth, rich, and easy to drink. Store in a cool, dark place. It's all right. I wouldn't.
It's everything it should be. Everything it should be.
That's what they say. I say different. It's all right. It's got a bit of a kick at the end. I wouldn't have said it's the smoothest of Shirazes.
Have you had many Shirazes?
Yeah.
No, right, fair
What
enough.
I've noticed a lot about your wines, I
Yeah.
will say, is you have to store them in a cold, dark place.
Yeah.
You wait, mate.
You wait till you have to put them in a warm, bright place.
It's only episode 3, so
Yeah. Right.
They're coming.
Right. Tune in next
Okay.
Wednesday. What are we talking about next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday. Oh!
Yeah. What are we talking about next Wednesday?
Oh!
The funny
we
thing
don't
is,
know.
we do these ahead of time, so we haven't decided that yet.
What are
We have
talking
no
about
idea what
next
we're doing next
Wednesday.
Get your phone out. What are we doing?
My friend's up there. I have no idea.
Something's coming.
I have no idea. Well, we will do a trailer anyway.
We'll
we'll
release the trailer in the week. See you in the future. Right.
Yes, in the future.
Thank you for watching this Guzzlr video.